Namaste. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana. I'm an intuitive reader and intuitive healer, and I'm here every Tuesday doing live readings. Apparently, I need to close my window. I will do that in just a second. So welcome to the chat. It's lovely to have you here, and you're more than welcome to start putting your questions into the chat. If you have had a reading in the past couple of weeks, it'd be great if you could let other people have a turn. It's nice to to share the love. If you would like to book a reading with me personally, I do that all the time. So I usually work through Zoom these days, and if you would prefer to have an email reading, I can do that as well too. If you live locally, I do readings in person, both at my home as well, at my home studio, as well as at a store in the Seychelles area in British Columbia. So lots of ways to connect with me. And if you're interested in working with classes and so forth, I teach a lot of different kinds of tarot classes. The next one that's starting is in August. It's about learning to read about timing and tarot and the cycles of the sun and the moon, and doing year ahead spreads, birthday spreads, and so forth. So that course is in August. You can check out my website for that information. And today we're going to look at the energy of the moon, the sun, what's going on with the Cancer energy right now, and loosely bring that into our conversations. So if you just look at the little screen over here, this is Patrick Fogarty's oh my goodness, what's Patrick's deck called? I've got it right here. The Living Wheel Astrology cards, this deck here. And I like to use this deck just to kind of wrap my head around what's going on astrologically right now. When I try to bring in the energy of moon cycles into a reading, it's great to just reflect on where we are. And so if you're in, and I will address the Southern Hemisphere in just a moment. So if you are in the Northern Hemisphere, we are definitely in summer. The moon right now, so on Friday, we will be at the energy of the new moon. The moon is continuing to wane. And so this is the energy where we're at today. And the moon right now is not yet in Cancer. The moon is still in Gemini, so we're still in the thinking energy of the moon. The moon will transition into Cancer by the end of the week. And so we'll have Cancer sun and Cancer moon, and of course the sun now is also in Cancer. So I like to keep this energy in mind as I'm talking about your readings and sharing with you, whatever's going on. So astrologically, the major arcana associated with Cancer is the Chariot, of course, and there are other court cards and minor cards as well too that come up that speak to this timing. And this is one of the things I like to look at in that course that I teach in the summer, because if we can weave in these underlying layers into your reading, it might bring some further insight. So if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, you are in the season of winter, and the waning moon looks a little different. So if you look up into the night sky, the waning moon faces in a sea direction. So this would look like a waxing moon in the Northern Hemisphere, but in the Southern Hemisphere, the waning moon looks like the C shape. So completely different energy, right? So we are in winter. It is cool, and the energy of Cancer it has a very different feel than it does in the Northern Hemisphere. And I really, if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, let me know, and I'll try to, shift my conversation to relate to your situation. Okay, so I'm going to move these to the, where are we at? Move these to the side, or up and out of the way so I can see them. Now today I'm going to use the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot as well. I am going to use Whispers of the Ocean Oracle, and I thought I would do one oracle and 2 tarots. And if I need to expand on that, I will as well too. This is the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. This is a beautiful, gentle deck. It feels really connected to Cancer energy. The guidebook is by Angela Hartfield, and the artwork is by Ekaterina Golovanova. So it's a lovely, lovely, beautiful deck. I want to welcome those of you that are here. JP, hello. Dancing Soul Sister. Hannah, hi there. Nice to have you back. Thank you for the kind words. Pinky Lee, hello. I'm well, thanks. So Pinky Lee's, I see, is the first question, which I will just flag. Hello to Shannon. Lily Valley and Kristen, Joel, hello, hello. Okay, so let's shuffle. And just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to shut my windows so my blinds don't continue to. I thought the wind was still, but I guess the wind is never still, is it? It's always moving. All right, so let's focus on Pinky Lee. Pinky Lee. Pinky Lee is looking to mingle with LW. So what is the energy around Pinky Lee and LW? Are we looking at cards of mingling or not? I like the poetry of your question. Oh, and I need to, I'm just going to put the chat up here as well too. And Snow Fox Tarot is here. Selena, hello, welcome to you. Joy of Divination, hello and welcome to you as well too. Oh, the air. It's very humid where I am today. I live on the coast of British Columbia, and normally, we don't, it's usually lightly humid here, but today it feels like the air is quite saturated with water. I walked my dog, Amber, in the trees in the morning, and it just felt very rainforesty. All right, so again, this is the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot. I'm going to do 2 tarot cards and 1 oracle card. All right, so this is for Pinky Lee. So let's do this, and I'll just get the oracle card ready. And so not reading past, present, future, or any particular association. I'm just going to weave a story. Oops. And these are all the right way up. So Knight of Cups is an auspicious card, and Emperor. Okay, so I'm not sure what the energy of the 2 of you is. Interesting. So Knight of Cups, there is, of course, Knight of Cups is an invitation to move into an emotional connection. The Knight of Cups would be available. The Emperor is more of a controlling kind of card, fixed, very fixed energy. So that's kind of conflicting information, I would say. The first card was the Knight of Cups, so that first card would be a yes. I'm wondering why the Emperor is there, though. It's almost as if the Emperor's like holding back the reins. Okay. Interesting oracle card. Blend into the environment. You have many skills and can fit into any situation. Take time to assess what is going around you and adapt accordingly. So perhaps LW is transitioning from a committed relationship to a single relationship. I almost feel as if this is a not yet. There's something still, it's like maybe LW is ready to mingle, but there's still something going on, maybe with his family or her family, maybe with a previous relationship. So I would err on the side of caution for the time being. This would speak to intention, though, for sure. It's a lovely intention that they would want to be with you. Okay, let's go to Lily Valley. How will be the last months of my present job? Okay. Lily Valley. Okay, so you are, thank you, Shannon. I appreciate the super chat. Lily Valley, you are, so months, the last months. So July, August, September. Energetically, with the last months of your job being July, August, September, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, is a time to kind of go out with a bang, I would say, to be productive. Like it would be in your highest interest, perhaps, to go out with a bang. Okay. All right, so this is Lillian. Well, this is funny because when I think of the Five of Wands and summer energy, it looks like you might go out with a bang. When I think of Five of Wands and summer energy, when everybody gets overheated and people kind of get cranky because of the heat, that's what this Five of Wands feels like to me. But then there's 10 of Swords here. So your job, the 3 months will reach a natural conclusion. The 10 of Swords is almost as if you feel, wow, is there some kind of conflict with your employees? Is there some kind of antagonistic energy with your coworkers? With that 10 of Swords there, it's almost like surrender to, because this is a card of conflict, right? We have a 5 and a 10. I want to say surrender to the shenanigans in the office. Like don't let the stress of the office rule your day, kind of thing. I kind of actually like the 10 of Swords showing up there. It shows a natural completion. It's almost as if, you knew long ago that this was coming to an end, but like what I want to say, you made the right decision. You made the right decision in deciding to move to another job. Okay, let's pull Whispers of the Ocean. This is a new oracle deck for me. Okay, this is so, I just love this work. Okay, so the keyword is change directions with ease. This is a time for change, shape-shifting for your soul's evolution. It is a time to reconsider what you are wanting. You may be in for a surprise. Well, you already know that this is a time of transition. So I'm just going to go to the chat and see if you typed anything. Okay. So I really like the advice there. And what I was saying was, there's a couple of messages for you. The first thing I said was to go out with a bang. So this might be an opportunity for you to try something new just for practice. Like if you want to I don't know what it is you do, but if you have an opportunity to almost be playful, there's conflict, but I think you can learn from this conflict, and you don't want to irritate or amplify this contact in any way, but there may be, I don't know, I just feel like with this summer energy that you could almost play off or grow from this conflict. Okay. Shannon is doing her first reading for a stranger on July 16th for her partner's birthday. Excellent. Oh, I look forward to getting to that question. Okay, so I have I got distracted. 2 messages for you. Lydiane is, if you feel the opportunity to kind of play and grow from this conflict, then definitely take that. But because that was an intuitive message I had, but what the cards are saying is that they're acknowledging that conflict, but they are inviting you kind of to surrender to the conclusion of this. And don't feel, what I want to say, don't feel, this is not a bad card. All this card is saying is you have made the right decision in winding up this particular part of your journey. What can you do to create ease as you transition out of this job? So be mindful of, listening to and preventing, being aware of what other people are doing in the office. Self-care, of course, is important. Shuffling. So when you are riffle shuffling, if you can hold the deck in your hands, why don't you just start with the corners, right? If you start with the corners and don't worry about the whole of the deck, right? If you just do the corners and then you can push it. Usually you can push it together. You don't have to do the back bridge. I mean, not all decks will riffle shuffle. I've always loved riffle shuffling. Okay, let's go to MB. If I can ask, and you have some time, very curious, what drains my energy in this period of rest and restoration? I can't seem to recharge. Okay. On an energetic level, there's a couple of things that I can suggest. One is to, there's a few different practices of letting go, right? Releasing from the body. And it's very, very difficult to revitalize if we haven't released energetically. So you can just focus on your exhale breath. You could do this every morning as you wake up and before you go to bed. And you find those emotions or those patterns or people or situations in your life that you don't want to have anymore in your life. Perhaps it's anger or grief or a memory of something. And as you exhale, you simply repeat that word with your exhale breath. So you exhale anger, you exhale anger, you exhale anger, right? So the the emptying of the cup is really, really important. And I know you're saying you're feeling drained, but just check in that there are not some low frequency emotions and low frequency patterns that you're clinging to, because that can be really important. And the cards might reveal that as well too. And so once you start doing that after a few days, then you can start to fill the cup up. So the exhale breath is about letting go. The inhale breath is about filling up. And full diaphragmatic yogic breathing with your hands on your belly, that kind of breath where you breathe in and the belly expands like a big Buddha belly, can feel so uplifting if you are able to breathe that way. So you can get some instructions on how to do full diaphragmatic breathing. Also, the thing about, and I'm sure you're being mindful of your food and everything, but recharging is, well, let's look and see what we're, I'm going to hold MB in light and love here, healing and health, and let the cards reveal some insight into recharging and filling up MB with light and energy. Okay, so interesting that the Hierophant would show up. 10 of Wands. I mean, quite simply, maybe you're just craving some kind of knowledge, some kind of learning, going back to school. Maybe you just need to feel inspired by something new. Maybe you need to teach. Maybe you need to teach. Or, you know, sometimes when we're feeling really, really drained, it's spiritual energy that we need. And so it's about picking up a spiritual practice. And that can come through a breath practice. That can come through daily journaling. That can come through really mindful walk or something like that. Okay, so your oracle card is shared inspiration. So this really speaks to the Hierophant card. Throw yourself into a new project. Be willing to let go of time constraints and rules, and really be aware of whatever fulfills your heart. So shared inspiration, but also what I see in this oracle card is connection. I love how this is connected to the water, the energy of Cancer. I mean, all of these cards are, but it just feels very, very flowy. So one of the things I would suggest is to reach out and find a group. Find a group that will inspire. This particular 10 of Wands, and this might actually be insightful for you. As I have been working with this deck, I'm going to say the last few weeks, it's come out back onto my table. And I was contemplating, and you might have heard me say this already, contemplating the story of the Little Mermaid, and the grass is always greener. You know, the neighbor's grass is always greener. People are always looking, thinking that other people have what they don't have. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting to always be wanting the next thing. You know, there's a distraction. The Suit of Wands is about our will. It's about our dharma. It's about our path. And it almost feels to me in this 10 of Wands like you need to get back on path. You need to get back on track and focus where you started in that Ace of Wands and get back to the inspiration of that Ace of Wands. So I would say creativity, you know, creativity, learning, is going to be really good medicine for you. So let me know how that sits with you. And welcome to Nick Research. Okay. All right. So just give that some food for thought and let me know how you are doing. I want to go to Shannon's question. I want to thank her for the super chat. And I don't know if she's next in the list. Actually, she is. So yay, that makes it easy for me. Okay. So Shannon's asking, Shannon is in my tarot transformation class. And it's really lovely doing readings on these Tuesdays when I've actually seen your face and know your energy, and it, I don't know, kind of makes it more meaningful. So I'm really happy to do this reading for Shannon. July 16th, you're doing your first reading for a stranger for her partner's birthday. How do I ready myself spiritually and otherwise? Okay, this is a really good question. And this is actually a topic we're going to deal with in the course. But I want to see, I'm going to use the cards, Shannon, to see if there is a specific message for you. The whole idea about doing readings, for me, the success has always come in the preparation, and that has to do with setting up the space and also preparing myself. It's really, like I said, I walk the dog in the morning. So after I walk the dog, even if I'm not particularly sweaty or something, I'm going to go hop in the shower and just have a quick rinse off. I will, I get my beverages ready. I clear off the table, remove any excess stuff to settle down in the space. I arrive in the space early and I begin to, and if, for example, when I was coming on for the last video, I was late, but I don't let myself get all fussed about that. My cameras weren't ready. I had to adjust something. So arriving early for me is a really good, really helps. Let's see what the cards have to say for you. And if you like, I can bump up that topic in class. Perhaps tonight we can talk about that a little bit. Okay, so that was I want you to know that was a very magnetic pull. 10 of Swords and 4 of Wands. Okay, so when I say magnetic pull, it feels like the cards cut exactly where they were supposed to cut. 10 of Swords, surrender to the process. When I see this as the initial response, there's a big capital T-R-U-S-T, trust. Trust that you got this. This, when you're doing readings, it's not coming from you. If you can allow it to move through you and kind of step out of your own way. And I know that's hard when it's your first reading because you probably have lots of resources on your table and it's very nerve-wracking, but find a mantra, find a phrase to help you step out of your own way. The 10 of Swords is the death of the ego. So you don't have anything to prove. It's about, so the 10 of Swords is the fulfillment of the suit of thought. It's the fulfillment of the suit of the mind. And so it's really about trusting your inner wisdom. And trusting your inner wisdom is about letting go of ego. And then on the other side of that, we have the 4 of Wands, which is a beautiful card to show up. It's like about the foundation of a new practice, the foundation of a new business. You are creating something very solid here. So those are really beautiful cards to have. Okay, let's pull a oracle card for Shannon. Dancing in the Rainbow. It's another dolphin card. Break free from whatever you feel is holding you back, express happiness, and find out what you truly desire. That's actually a really beautiful card. So when I saw that, I thought, okay, so make your reading space happy. Have remember to have flowers on your table, maybe to have some rainbow aura quartz, like make the space joyful. Perhaps, play some music before you come on. If you like to dance or sing or, be happy. Be happy, be joyful, and do something before you actually do the reading. Do something that you love to do. Like, don't be sitting there waiting for the client to arrive or whatever, like, I like that. Dance in the light. Dance in the light, and know that you can dance in the light. All right, so Pinky, you are welcome. And yeah, vitamins and nutrition are always something important, right, to bring into the whole plan. Okay. And everybody's supporting Shannon. That's wonderful. Okay, so let's go to Kristen Louise. Can I get a reading on how might the relationship with a potential partner for my Oracle deck go? She would be writing that guidebook. Okay. That surprises me. You are so well researched and articulate. I would have thought that you would be doing the guidebook yourself. Okay, so let's surround Kristen with light for her new Oracle project, focusing on the partnership with the writer of the guidebook. Okay, so my throat, Kristen, is really kind of lighting up here. One of the things I would say, and I'm sure you've done this, is to have an outline, a very detailed outline of all of the things that you want included in the guidebook, to make sure your expectations of the structure of the guidebook, what kind of content you want for each of the cards, to have. Why is it left throat? That's really interesting. All right, so you need to make sure that your voice in the guidebook is heard. Make sure your voice in the guidebook is heard. Okay. Okay, when I see this Eight of Swords, what I am thinking is that once you enter into this relationship and you submit your requests and your details and the outline of what you want in the guidebook, don't feel like you can't go back and edit. Now, you don't want to be one of those people that goes back and, with the red pen and edits everything constantly, but there is, you will still have choices to make. I want to pull this. Oh, it's lovely. The star card is here. So remaining optimistic, knowing that this card would speak to you making the right decision in collaborating with somebody. The other thing about this is, I was before this card came up, I was going to say that you always have the right. You always have the right to release the guidebook writer should things not work out, and to keep that in the back of your mind as well too. But because this star card showed up, maybe this is more about, I feel like you want to empower and you want to respect the work of the writer. So your tendency would be to step back and be quiet, and to get, you might get frustrated, and allow tension to build up because you are unwilling to express. I'm not sure, Kristen. That Eight of Swords is. Anyway, just know that you have the right to speak up at any time during the project. The other thing about the star card, as I also see the star card as a card of purification, it's a card that will give you freedom. It will give you freedom in, right, in freeing up your time and the joy that you feel with this project. We have very like opposing energies here, and so you get this card as well too, which is great. So perhaps this is your present worry, and these two cards are reflecting what actually is. And so to be grateful for the writer, be grateful that you decided to hire a writer and to be in the creative joy of the project, of your design. Okay, Kristen, I am doing most of the research, but she will be putting it into words. That's something I worry about. I hate hurting people's feelings and conflict. Okay, so that makes sense. Shannon says, I'm like that too, Kristen, but you sometimes have to just pull the Band-Aid off. Okay. So so I would take these two cards as positive, as confirmation that you've chosen well, and to trust in the process. Where are we at here? I'm quite curious, Sadhana, if you feel and have time for doing a video of tarot books that have been essential, made a breakthrough for your practice and the learning of tarot. Joel, there's been so many different inspirations along the way, and I feel like it's come through different people. It's come through lots of different resources. There's a period where I did a deep dive into the Tarot de Marseille, and I was using a lot of Tarot de Marseille resources. And as I was reading those books and websites and playing with those cards, I started to gain greater insight into the RWS as I study the Tree of Life from time to time and read different things and work with different decks, then my understanding of those aspects comes deeper into the tarot. But yeah, for sure, I can do that again. I think maybe I haven't done that. I feel like I have, but I'm going to go back and I will check my YouTube channel and see if I've done a video like that. Somebody asked about around the tarot and 78 days. I just picked that up yesterday. It was on the shelf at the store where I work. It's quite a simple little book, but yeah, happy to do that. Or do an updated version of that. Okay. Lily Valley, you are most welcome. And Shannon, you riffle shuffle as well too. Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's go to Joy of Divination. Has your relationship to Mr. T come to an end? Has your relationship to Mr. T come to an end? Let me take that banner off. Okay. Joy. So let's hold joy and light and love and support at this challenging time. So Cancer energy, full of emotions. I should see the reading in the Facebook group this week. I didn't even write up a reading on Monday for the cards that came up in the Facebook group because it was just so much water, so many cups. I feel like sometimes Cancer season can be just overwhelming. I'm just expressing empathy, joy. All right, Joy and Mr. T. Joy and Mr. T. All right, right off the top almost. 9 of Cups. So I'm definitely going to read that. 9 of Cups and 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles feels wintry and cold. It feels like perhaps definitely a transition. I see the 5s as transition. The 9 of Cups would normally, now this is actually a really good kind of teaching point here. The 9 of Cups is usually considered a joyful card. It is the it's the fulfillment, it's the completion of the suit of emotions, the suit of feelings. But it also can become overwhelming, right? It's a lot of cups, it's a lot of water, it's a lot of emotion. And I don't usually reflect on the 9 of Cups following the 8 of Cups. In the 8 of Cups, there's definitely the energy of moving on. And the 9 of Cups, who knows what your next step is after an 8 of Cups. But the other thing, when I feel the 9 of Cups energy, I feel, and I'm drawing, kind of going to my Osho Zen days and leaning into the energy of the Osho Zen tarot. What happens when we get lazy in a relationship? We get everything that we want. We forget about how we treated each other when we first entered the relationship. I'm just going to riff here for a second because, so my point is that normally this is a very positive yes card. But in this circumstance with Joy's question, I want to look at the whole picture, right, of this energy of the completion. This is the 3rd completion. This is the 3rd 3 in the suit of Cups. So that means this is an ending. But it is also a fulfillment at the same time. And that was a big swallow. I don't know if you noticed that. So that's me perhaps wanting to suppress, or me reflecting Joy's energy, right? And not wanting to face what lies ahead. I want to see what the oracle card is. So what I'm feeling here, Joy, is that in order for the relationship to continue, there's going to need to be a resurgence of energy. It feels like you would really need to shake things up for the relationship to go further. And of course, I invite all of you to chime in and add to your interpretations. Okay. The oracle card says inner desires. You're entering a phase of plenty or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. Inner desires. What does anybody know what creature this is? Anyway, this is a shell. I've seen these shells before. So inner desires. This card to me speaks of checking in with where it is you want to go, where it is you want to grow. And can Mr. T join you on that path? Is Mr. T, because this is, you didn't ask this question, right? Is Mr. T willing and wanting and able to go on this path with you? And to me, this looks like, in the Dame Darcy here in the Five of Pentacles, it looks like, I don't know, some kind of missed opportunity as well, too. It feels stagnant. Hey there, Jen. Lovely to see you popping in here. So Joy, so I would say yes. I would say it's become stagnant. But the reason it's become stagnant, it's because you are wanting something more. You are wanting something more, and you are ready for more. And so the question is more, can you do this together? And so that's going to take a very direct conversation with you and Mr. T. Your inner desires, you need to get really, really clear on what those inner desires are, and then let that be known in the relationship. And then that conversation will stir things up. So I hope that makes sense to you. But even just, you asking that question, I hope this confirms what you already know. That is definitely my energy you are picking up on, Sadhana. I feel like I've grown and he is still stuck. Okay. Okay. Let's go to Nick Research. Where I can invite more love in. Needing spiritual energy. That could make a lot of sense. Okay. And MB, you're really welcome. You're really welcome. I hope you're still here with us. Thanks very much, Dancing Soul Sister. I appreciate your feedback. Hello to Diana and Colleen. I don't think I said hello to you. Let's focus on Nick. I hope you'll have the time to help me figure out where I can invite more love in. Where I can invite more love in. Okay. I briefly touched on this energy before. And so part of this energy is emptying, making sure that the cup is empty. And this is so often the case when people are struggling to find a new relationship. And that is because there's a fear of letting go of the past one. And this can be letting go of expectations. This can be letting go of mementos, gifts. It can be those random booty calls, getting together just for fun with exes. There has to be space in your life for love. And that can take a long time. It can take a long time. It took me 7 years. 7. That's unbelievable. I met a woman yesterday. I did a reading for a woman. It took her 11 years to clear the path. And there's a sense of, when we're in the process of clearing the path, there's a lot of inner work that we can be doing. And the more inner work that you do, the easier it is to clear the path. Okay? And I don't want to, 7 and 11 years is a long, long time. But sometimes we have to prioritize ourselves. And the healing and the love has to be for self. And until we 100% unconditionally love ourselves exactly as we are, it's not possible to be in a wholesome relationship. Okay. So clearing the decks and shuffling. I'm just going to throw that over there because it kind of jumped out for Nick. Okay, so the 6 of Cups jumping out is confirmation of letting go of the past. Letting go of the past. Letting go of past relationships. Maybe this means putting little names on pieces of paper and burning them. Or putting memories, I don't know, burning a photograph. But letting go of the past. Okay, so I'm going to pull 2 tarot cards for Nick. And 1 oracle card. We kind of have a repeating message here. 6 of Cups, 5 of Cups, and 6 of Swords. So all 3 of these cards tell me that I'm spot on. This is very relevant to your situation. I don't know if you've commented in the chat. I'll go look in a second. What's another way you can let go of the past? Forgiveness. Forgiveness is huge. Do you know any forgiveness practices? Because that is really something. I have an ebook on forgiveness. If anybody's interested, let me know. I think it's linked in an old blog post on my website. It's actually this is so funny. I wrote this as a chapter for a book with a bunch of other psychics and healers. And I wrote it so long ago. I'm afraid actually I have evolved so much since I wrote that chapter, and the actual hard copy of the book is just getting published now, like years and years later. So it's a different version of me, but there's lots of great practices in that ebook. So forgiveness is a really beautiful way of letting go. The 6 of Swords speaks to moving on, letting go of those arguments, letting go of those words that cut. And perhaps there is also, I want to say, a childhood pattern. I haven't looked at the chat yet because sometimes I just need to riff. That there's a childhood pattern that was reflected in past relationships that is an essential part of this letting go process. Okay, I'm going to put an oracle card and then I'll see if you've commented. Okay, I like this. This is the, this is called, it's not a clownfish. I forget what fish this is called. They're poisonous. It's called Facing Your Fears, and I'll read you the tiny words. Look for ways to strengthen your connections to the universe and others. Stay peaceful and calm in knowing who you are. But the facing your fears is definitely significant. My mom actually spoke to me last week about forgiveness. Ooh, nice. Okay. Have you done Ho'oponopono practice? Because that is a very simple and beautiful practice that comes through the Hawaiian tradition. And I think I actually talk about Ho'oponopono in my ebook as well too. I am going to make a note. I don't think I can link that in the up above, but I can definitely link that down later, down below. Okay, so facing your fears, naming your fears, and then releasing your fears. Because, yeah, this seems to be. I feel like we've hit the nail on the head here. Okay. So in order for love to move into your life, there's a need for letting go of the past and for some process of forgiveness, which is going to be connected to some things that you are afraid of. Okay. Thanks, Colleen. That's good to know, Nick. I know I'm way behind in the chat, but I have to pause it as I'm going through. Donna's here. Hello, Donna. Welcome to Donna Thompson. I see Joel is asking for book recommendations. I'm going to have to. Being playful is so important. And welcome to Fareed. And let's pull a card for Fareed. Okay. You know, Joel, there's certain books that I go to all the time. The large guidebook that goes with Druidcraft Tarot. Do you have that? Because that guidebook is so amazing. Even if you don't really resonate with the artwork, I would recommend purchasing that tarot deck just for the guidebook. The large guidebook, of course. The Lo Scarabeo series. So there's the one that's on my desk right now is Tarot Compendium. But that series of 3 series of books, they're hardcover books. Maybe I can get them for you. I use these, I reference these. They're like little encyclopedias of Britannica. This is the third one. I tend to use the first one and the third one more. This series, they're not expensive. They're heavy. Yeah, they're published by Lo Scarabeo. So there's 3 of them. I like that. I like these. And I like how they're big and heavy and they sit open and they've got colored pictures and they've got lots and lots of decks in them. But yes, I will definitely do a video. Okay, thank you for the super chat, Nick. Okay, so let's focus on Farid and the thoughts and feelings of Xenon toward me. You do miss him. Okay. Xenon and Farid. Thoughts and feelings of Xenon. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Death. Eight of Pentacles. So the Death card would speak to Xenon is done. The relationship is over. Interesting. Eight of Pentacles is such a random and weird card to come up in combination with that. Perhaps it speaks to the weight of the relationship. You know, like but usually this card doesn't have that association. But if you asked about Xenon, this is not about you. So perhaps Xenon has already started a new endeavor. This would not speak necessarily to, this wouldn't speak to a new romantic endeavor, but Xenon is engaged with a new business, some kind of material development in his life. Xenon is focused completely focused on this pentacle, on something else. This card, we've got a repeater card. This card that came up today. This mollusk that is inner desires. Okay, so this card to me, with that keyword, I'm also looking at the 16. 16 is that is the tarot card in tarot, but the death card is a really significant card for Reed, and sometimes the greatest medicine is in letting go. And a previous reading was that Nick's reading. The reason that new relationships and new love are not able to come to us again is because we are unable to release something from the past. And that death card speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to giving yourself permission to let go. And that's hard for me to say, right? Because I know you want to hear something different. The inner desires card in the center is about you getting really, really clear on what it is that you want moving forward. Because obviously Xenon's focused on something else. Work, another project, another passion, right? Xenon's not focused on connecting with you. So for you to do that inner work that's necessary so that moving forward you are crystal clear on what it is you want to build and grow in a relationship is more important than you focusing on the past at this time. Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you liked that video. That video was that was a pleasure to put together because I like that deck so much. Yeah, and you know what you're saying, Lydiane, what you're saying, Lydiane, is it's really important, and it gives me a lot of pleasure is not the right word. It warms my heart to see you supporting each other in the chat. Yeah. Oh, Andy, thank you for this super chat. I appreciate that. Oh, and I didn't see Nancy pop in. Hello, Nancy. And Bruna. Hello to Bruna. Bruna from Brazil. Okay, so it's 1 hour and 6 minutes. Andy, did you have a question? I'm just going to scan down and see if Andy has a question. Oh, and I want to respond to Nick. So Nick says, "Oh, thank you. I've been, no, sorry, that last one wasn't Nick. That last one was Fareed, but Fareed didn't comment again. Okay. All right. Oh, Fareed said thank you. Okay. All righty. So scrolling back up to Bruna, and I think this will be the last reading for today. I need to prepare some other videos and for my class tonight. Goodbye, Kristen. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Corinne Kenner. Corinne Kenner is an excellent author. She has written several guidebooks, and MB, I totally agree with you. Yeah, very, very perceptive. And she brings in a lot of timing and Kabbalistic and astrological associations, and I really like her. And Lily Valley asks for advice for the month for all of us. Yes, I will pull one card for everybody at the end. So let's just do a couple cards for Bruna, and then we'll do a group reading. And that will be it for today. Jen, if you're here, can you just type into the chat, please, that readings are closed for today? Thank you. All right, focusing on Bruna. I've got lots of little tinglies in my head. Relationship with my person, Mr. A. Okay. Or if there's another mod here, I don't know if there's any other mods here. If you can just type that into the chat, or anybody can type that in caps in the end of the chat. That'd be great. Okay, Bruna and Mr. A. Relationship with my person, Mr. A. He will offer me a serious commitment. Will Mr. A offer Bruna a serious commitment? Will Mr. A offer Bruna a serious commitment? Okay. That's a very positive card, Bruna. And this one, not so much. Okay. These two cards together would indicate short term, not long term. The Eight of Cups speaks to not sticking around for a long time. Thank you, Joel. Okay. The Sun would suggest having fun in the moment, being joyful for what is right now, right? The Sun is about participation, playfulness, being in the light, being in the joy of the relationship. Also, you know, the season of summer is there. The Oracle card speaks to one of the words down here is fine tuning, and this is a card of moving on. So I would say no. The answer is no. The answer is no. So the first part of the message is enjoy this now, have fun with this. But it doesn't look like that. Okay. So I'm going to do a final message for the group, which is I love to do. Okay, so what I want to repeat for everyone is that as we move towards the dark moon, this is important energy. So this next couple of days are days of regrouping, restoration, slowing down, self-care. And as we move towards the dark moon, we can start to think about what it is we want to manifest, what it is we want to grow in this next lunar cycle. And the more specific you can get about that, the more intentional you can get about what you want to grow over the next lunar cycle, the more energy you put into that, what I want to say, like you'll feed it. You want to feed it with your energy. But the next couple of days, the moon is still in Gemini. So you don't want to be overthinking things. Just take time for yourself and time for self-care. But as the moon transitions into Cancer, and also, what do I want to say? Like be mindful of the getting caught up in too much emotion. Like emotion and the waters of life and all of that, the passion, the romance is fun, but just be mindful of balance. Be mindful of balance. And you want to have, I'm just thinking of the Chariot card, right? You want to have the fieriness of the Chariot card underneath the wateriness of Cancer. Balance. Always we want to find balance. Okay. So I'm going to pull 2 tarot cards for the group. I'm going to go to Lily Valley's specific question. I just like the way she worded that. These glasses are breaking here. Lily, what did Lily say? Any advice for this month for all of us? Okay. So beyond what I just said, advice for this next lunar cycle. I love the compass on the back of these cards. The metaphor of the compass is, I don't know, it's such a great metaphor. Okay. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. This 3 of Cups energy feels very social. You know, it feels very summery and Cancerian, if that's an adjective. And these 2 cards together, it says to me to be mindful, to be mindful and thoughtful and reflective about choose where you want to engage carefully. Choose where you want to engage carefully. And the message that's coming through right now has to do with conserving energy. conserving energy. We don't want to waste energy where it's not needed. And in this Seven of Swords, we have, it's like this is the process of reclaiming our unique thoughts, reclaiming our voice. You know, we're taking something that is ours. And to me, this feels really gossipy. Like there may be people who don't support your reclamation of your authenticity. How awful is that? And so perhaps that's why choosing where we choose to socialize, and as we all move out and become more social, as communities start to open up with the diminishing COVID, there may be other reasons for that as well too. I'm getting lots of tingles through my head, so I hope this is resonating with some of you. I'm going to pull an oracle card as well too. Beware of gossip. On a very mundane level, beware of gossip. Avoid gossipy people. Avoid gossipy situations. We've had this card already today. Look for ways to strengthen your connection to the universe and others. Stay peaceful and calm of knowing who you are. Stay peaceful and calm of knowing who you are. So this card is about, you know, like I said, reclaiming who you are. And then I forget what that fish is called. So that description below kind of supports what I was just saying. I'm going to go to the chat before I sign off. And maybe I'll go backwards. Lydianne is, actually, let me go up. Okay, so Joel said readings are closed for today. Kira, hello to Kira. I didn't say hello to you, so welcome to my channel. Oh, that's great, Brynn. I'm glad you like the videos. Yes, this is a great book. I like Melissa's book too. I have that one. Great. So happy that you were able to join me. And Dancing Soul Sister is new too. I have seen you before though. Joy of Divination. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the feedback. Divine Goddess, hello, welcome. I can get to your question next time, so please come back next Tuesday. Life Growth, hello, welcome to you. Dragonfish. I am going to look this up when I go off. I really am curious about this. And Hika, hello, welcome to Hika. Snow Fox Tarot, yes, you are more than welcome. Where are you go? There you are. Colleen, thank you. Snow Fox, thank you very much. All right. Well, I want to wish you all a lovely rest of your week. And I've got a few different videos that I'm planning on here. So I'm hoping to be on at least 2 more times this week. And live is always easier for me. So I want to wish you well. Take good care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Namaste.